morning, everyone. How is everyone today? I hope you're all good. It's Wednesday. It's the 26th of, what is it, the 28th? 28th of January. A few more days left on the window, and Jesus, what a good window it's been for Blues, hasn't it? I know it's easy to say this before players actually start really playing, but I think this is probably the most exciting transfer window we've had so far, and really, really excited to see who is coming in. Uh, have a look at them playing. Some of these players are absolute quality. A couple that played in La Liga, one in the Swedish league, one in the American League. I'm just trying to think now. Well, John Solis, who has played obviously for Girona in the Spanish League as well. Just absolute quality. Osman, who Brighton alone. I just think it looks absolutely, our forward going, our capability going forward now are absolutely scary at this level. I'm going to have a little look around and see what we got here so far, because you know what I'm like, I never know till I get looking. We've got 9 people on at the moment. That's good. Let's see if we got. Oh, we've got comments early today. Let's have a little look at it. So Steve Daniel, hang on a minute. Is this from yesterday? I don't know what's happening there. Let me have another little look. Get these comments sorted. All right then. So Angus, let's start. Well, yeah, you got on quick today. Uh, Angus Gafford, afternoon, Steve. Scott, good afternoon. Past Parish, how are you, Steve? Hope everything's good. Shit on the Villa as usual. Um, Daniel Garvey, how are you, Steve? Could Barry be on the radar? You know something? I want to talk about that. Steve Donnelly, looking forward to next few games. Me too, mate. Harry Parker, anyone complaining about recruitment today needs to remember or be reminded of the dark days. Absolutely, I mean, people just, I can't believe the entitlement of our fans recently. And you can't put anything in social media without someone has to have a little shitty go at you. I mean, we had someone coming on this morning. Well, I put a post on this morning saying, trying to explain our policy of not sharing links and showing like the fact that everything we put in, 99% of it is correct. And I did say, well, we made one. I did make one comment by putting one issue by putting Sarmiento in before I really thought about it, because I seen he was from Brighton. I'd heard someone else say it that I trusted, and then some geezer comes on and goes, so you can put rumours that you believe in yourself, but other people can't put rumours. Yeah, of course, idiot. I make the decisions on what is published. You don't. The other person that put the stuff in doesn't. What are you talking about? Yeah, I make the decisions. Of course I do. I decide if I think it's right. Then yeah, I put it in. I've made, and it wasn't even a mistake. I think it was in there for about 5 hours. It was obvious that it was an agent-led thing, trying to hike the price and all that. Middlesbrough had the pants pulled down there, to be honest. I mean, look what we've got. Sarah CJ, how you doing, love? Hope you're all right, darling. Davis has got a real headache selection now, but Steve, what a headache selection to have, man. I mean, you've got to look at this squad. It's absolutely brilliant. Graham Parrish is saying, how you doing, son? How you doing, Graham? You all right, mate? Angus, I've got you on whilst I'm driving in London. So if you lose feed, I'll watch it when you finish. All right, Angus, mate. It's lovely to see you here, son. Thank you for being here. Watch the BP. So I know, Sarah, I've got to calm down. It does do you head, you try to do stuff the proper way and put stuff in that you know is going to happen. And then people come and like snipe at you. I mean, I think, and I did put in that the only person, and it's not a competition. I just wanted people to understand why we do that. We don't want you clicking shitty sites that take you everywhere. It's like the only one that we didn't get on, honestly, was Wagner. Just come out of the blue. It was American as well, so I don't know what agents were involved, but we didn't get anything. But every single other player we've had before they've been announced, we've understood it. Listen, ask our, it's in our moderation group when we get players, when we get certain ones, we have like a second moderation group where there's 5 or 6 people involved and we share that with people. We have to trust it not to go outside the group, of course we do. But yeah, Liabi, not going to lie, never heard of that Vicente lad and looking forward to see what we've got. Hi Steve, great window so far. Interesting the club put a post of Carlos talking about wanting to play with his old goalkeeper again. Well, listen, watch this space, you never know. But I don't think there's any goalkeeper coming. I honestly don't know that. I know a centre half could well be coming. Steve Markey, good afternoon, Steve. Steve, nice little comment you put in the group this morning, Mark. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Lee Harvey, as Tom Wagner says, Steve, fuck yeah, exactly, Lee. I should take Sarah's advice there and just lower my blood pressure a bit, I think. Paul James, I was going to post a message saying about Vicente days before it happened, in reply to him, but thought better of it. Yeah, I did actually. Paul's letting the cat out of the bag there a little bit, but I was talking to Paul James via Messenger, and I did actually let him know that Vicente was coming, and it was well before it happened. But like he says, he didn't let the cat out of the bag, or he didn't want to say anything. But you know, obviously, if you trust the odd person with stuff, you got to be able to trust people with stuff, And it's not stuff I do. I don't often tell people, but sometimes, if we think something's going to happen, and like I always say, you never absolutely know until that's over the line, until the manager of the club announces it, the guy's got the shirt on, all that sort of stuff, So you just got to be really like sit back and watch it. And I know a lot of you really enjoy that stuff with, getting looking at the transfer rubbish, like the clickbait sites. So go and do it elsewhere. We just don't do it in this site. That's all it is. We don't. It's just like so annoying sometimes when you try to do the right thing. You try to let people have the right information. You try to guard people from clickbait shit, and then people have a go at you for it. Someone else said that they put Vicente on before. I think this is what Paul's talking about. He put Vicente on. He put a Vicente rumour on, and it was removed. Yeah, because it was either one of two things. I can't be asked to go and check. It was either if it was before we announced it, but I don't think it was because I don't think anyone else had said anything about it. But if it was, then yeah, it was a rumour at that point. Otherwise, we wouldn't have turned it off or removed it. Secondly, the second possibility is we'd put it on and you put it on afterwards and then we remove it because it's already been said. We don't want to fill the site with rumours. Oh, Jesus. Whew. But what an exciting window. Look at the players we got. I just have a little look at our forward options today. We've got have a listen to this. Oxford United. Vicente, Dimi. I know not all of these are ready. Well, Dimi really. So Vicente, Dimi, Roberts, Osman, Doyle, Salis, Pake, Samuel, Wright, Stansfield, Kyogo, Dutch, Priska. I'm scared just thinking about it. It's so. I don't know, that. I don't know what to say about it other than you're absolutely right. What a massive job Chris has got on his hands there. He really has. What a challenge. I have no idea what he's going to do. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Lee Harvey's saying that his missus asked if I want a spliff to chill out. Mate, if you could just pass it through the screen to me, please. But yeah, and the Vicente one, I heard someone talking today about something that was on Substack about vertical football. Vertical football basically is without playing the ball wide. And although you can, I mean, some people call it vertical tick-attacker, but it really isn't. Usually it means bypassing the midfield. Chris Davis won't bypass the midfield. That ain't going to happen. You think we've got a team full of players like that and we're going to bypass the midfield or play it straight down the middle? How difficult is it to use the wings and go down the middle when you have a low block? How easy is it to think it's going to be to go straight down the centre? But listen, it's a matter of opinion, and I don't think for 1 minute, and I don't know what, I didn't hear Vicente say it or how he meant it. But if there's anyone that's a more typical wide player than Vicente, I'd like to know who it is. This man goes around the outside, you know. He rarely comes in. You look at Patrick Roberts, he comes in a lot. You look, Dimmy, he comes inside a lot. But Vicente and Osman both tend to go the long way round, and we've seen that with some of Vicente's goals that were put on by Blues yesterday. In fact, he talked you through them. He scored 5 goals this season. The Real Madrid one was a wonderful goal. This lad is a real talent, and someone made me laugh this morning. They call him the Ginger one. I think it was Steve Carpenter. Nice one, the ginger one. I live in Spain. You don't really see any ginger Spanish people. There must be a little bit of Irish, Scottish in them or something. I don't know. But it doesn't matter what he looks like. He's got a twin brother as well. How good's that? So how do we approach this? You know, we know. The other thing I'm going to say now to get it out of the way is I'm pretty 99% certain we're going to get a centre half through the door any moment now, right? So I'm going to get that out of the way. You heard it, all right? And I've been saying it though for 2 weeks, to be honest, but it is going to happen. It's just taken a while. So let's say the back four is, we're going to take that for granted until Laird is back. I think the right back remains as Iwata. I'll have a look what Pete Hannon says, because Pete's a good lad, and I like to read Pete. He's always interesting. Pete, we brought a great potential into the club with a lot in common. They're young and new to the country and developing. Let's say they're not instantly judged. I absolutely agree on that. The future's bright. The future is blue and white, and not expect miracles overnight. Nice little bit of rhyming there, son, but we can hope finish the season well. This could be the start of something big, let's hope. Harry Parker saying he's a believer in the unintended consequence. What I mean is, watch Stano flourish now, because it's not long. It's a big money move, big money player under pressure. He hasn't stopped performing, mate. You know, I mean, that lad runs his socks off every day for the game. He is one of the players that leads Blues. He needs help. We haven't got the quality at the moment to give him that support we have now. Steve Daniels is saying, I can't for the life of me think what team Davis I know. I agree, mate. But like I was saying, you know, if we take that back four for granted, then we have to think about, you know, what's the system going to be? I can't help but think it's going to be pretty much the same with a 2-3, a 4-2-3-1. So 3 across the middle. If we play 3 across the middle, which 3 of those across the middle do we play, and who plays up top? I was sort of thinking to myself, we don't want to rush Priska into the team, but having seen him the other night, I want to rush Priska into the team, because he just looks so energetic and brave and big, and he looks about 11. What's going on? So then, if that happened, what's going to happen to all those other players? Andy Wood saying, great signings. We still need that Barry Bannon. We don't need any Barry Bannon now, mate. You don't have to have a player that has that sort of footballer in it. Can Doyle do it now with more protection from the new big lad in midfield? I don't think Doyle. I think Doyle's going to struggle to get into this team. It depends the way the boss wants to go. So I think you can say pretty much I would have Solis in the team for exactly for what you say there, Andy. That protection, and I think. Uh, then what? I think we have to have. I think Vicente has to have a look in, doesn't he? I mean, he's the big money signing. Um, and then what's going to happen with Patrick Roberts? Is something going to happen with Patrick Roberts? And then, yeah, as far as I know, the negotiations for Patrick Roberts are ongoing. It could be that since then there's been a little bit of, like, listen, we can bring him in, but let's forget Pat. I don't know. I honestly don't know. And then, what happens to we got Lloyd Samuel as well, of course, and Wright. What's going to happen with them? Paik and Osman, are they going to get a look in? What happens when Dimmy comes back? Are we going to play a team with 11 wingers? You can't really change the system that much to play that many midfielders. I mean, the only way you could sort of do it would be to play a back five, and that would be everything that goes against what Chris Davies believes and really doesn't suit that kind of player. Um, a back five is a very defensive setup, so the two, out and out wingers, well, the right-sided winger would be Vicente. He's absolutely a winger. He can play like on the inside. We've seen him come inside and score goals. On the left side, probably as an out-and-out winger, Osman or Dimi. So then there's five. So then you have five players to put into that midfield and attack. We don't. I would think we're going to be playing with one player up front, and I think that would be Priska. And then we'd have four players left then that we could put into that midfield. Because with five at the back, you don't need that added protection because it's very defensive anyway. So you could look at it that way. I can't see the boss. I can't see Chris Davies changing to a back five. I honestly can't. But with the players he's got, it would be easy to do that. It might give us a little bit more solidity at the back, but it would give us an absolutely scary breaking, breaking opportunities with that team. The pace of Osman is scary. Vicente's close control is brilliant. Um, Pat Aslam's there doing Pat, son. I didn't see you. Come on, mate. He reckons the playoffs in there for us. What do you think? Just going back to what I was saying before I finish with Pat there, the ability to attack fast there with that collection of players is scary, but the ability to play football with them is even scarier. I don't think we're going to be playing that long ball game, like we're not going to be going wide and hitting the high ball for Priska. He's not essentially that kind of attacker. He'll play off the shoulder. For a big lad at 6'4", he's fast, he's strong, but he doesn't just play with his head. This lad's a really nice footballer. So we got that real issue in there, haven't we? What are we going to do with all these players? I actually just don't know. And then, of course, at the back, when we get Laird back, we get the new centre half in, we get Buchanan back. This looks like a very good team to me. It honestly does. And what Pat's saying about the playoffs, why can't this be the start of our run now into that top 4 or 5 places? Not possibly even into the top 2. You just never know. Coventry, the wheels could completely fall off. They've started to wobble a bit. We've obviously left it late, but this to me tells us, I think, that this is shit or bust for Tom Wagner. He's looking at this and he's thinking, right, let's put this money into it. I mean, we don't know what's been paid, you know, but I mean, Vicente is a £10 million rated player. He plays in Spanish La Liga. He scored 1 goal in every 4, and he's a white player. I mean, that is absolutely brilliant. Prisca, you know, like 19 goals in 25 games. All right, it's in Sweden, but 19 goals in 25 games. That's absolutely phenomenal goal scoring. It's more than 1 every 2 games. You know, Osman La Liga experience looks a little bit just like he needs to learn a little bit. He can be one that can cover or can come on against a tired defence and use his pace. He's very strong as well. He is strong and he's got lovely close control. Patrick Roberts, someone was saying earlier, you know, can he play the 10? The thing is, we don't need a 10. A 10 is a wonderful thing to have with like the squad we had, but with this squad now, I don't think we need a 10. And the other thing is, Pat saying, yeah, it's all out of Blues. It's all out for Blues if Tom's going for it. I think he is. When we say we don't need a 10, if you've got that like pace and fast passing ability, then you don't. I don't know how much time they will have had together. Vicente has only been in the club for a day. Obviously Osman and a couple of the other lads have been in for a week or so, so you know it's interesting. Harry Parker saying any opposition manager thinks I can work us out. He's in for a shock. CD now has in-game options for plans B and C. He always has a plan B. I don't care what anyone says. I watch the game. I understand what I'm watching. He always has a plan B. I don't know. You know, he's probably used a plan C. You know. In-game changes happen loads, and sometimes people don't even understand it. I was telling you last week, someone was telling me how quite good, you know, Sorba and Thomas was in the first half, playing wide on the right for Stoke. He didn't play wide on the right, he played at right back, and you've been watching that game for an hour and you haven't understood that, you know. So that, you know, those sort of comments, it sounds a bit shitty of me to make that comment, but you know, you have to understand what you're watching, and we change in-game loads of times, and I think sometimes it's been to our detriment, changing like on an hour or 65 minutes, because what it does is it breaks down the pattern of play sometimes, and I've watched it sometimes and it's frustrating me a little bit when I see, you know, it's like broken down the way we're playing now. We've got to start again and there's half an hour left, and it can be, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But imagine, you know, just imagine taking off Stansfield, Dimmy. Let's just say you took off Stansfield, Dimmy and I don't know, Roberts after an hour, and who was coming on? Prisca, Osman and Vicente. I mean, Jesus, those defenders are going to think, what the shit is happening here? And it's all very well as saying this. What we have to accept is that these players probably going to take a little bit of time to bed in. We've got players from all over the world. You know, very few of these players have played championship football, like, for instance, the new ones. Although Spanish League obviously is an absolute, it's an absolutely wonderful league to watch. And anyone that thinks we're going to go direct with that team, with a couple of 3 players that have played at Spanish La Liga level, I think is in for a shock, because they don't play long ball. They do not, you know. They play close touch football, you know, they play passing game. It's a beautiful game in Spain, and it is, and we see how the Spanish national team plays. So don't be expecting too much difference. Now listen, I might be a million miles wrong here, because when we see it on Saturday for the first time, and we have an idea to view it against Oxford, you know, if only it wasn't Oxford away from home, it'd be nice to have this first game at home, wouldn't it? But I think it's going to be a really interesting game to watch, an interesting side to pick. I would, you know, and I've done it before, of course. I always encourage you to put out your predictive teams. I think I'll do one. I have absolutely no idea what it's going to be, but it will be interesting. Daniels is saying, I think with everyone fit, this is what CD will go with, using very strong substitutions around the hammer. Now this is going to be a team, I think. Beadle, Laird or Iwata at the moment, Neumann or new centre half, Clara, Wagner. I'm with you so far. Vicente, Roberts, Solis, Doyle, Pake. Oh, so these are the replacements, okay. Clara, Wagner. Vicente with Roberts to come on, okay. Solis with Doyle to come on. Pake. Gray with Osman to replace him. Obviously Gray's injured at the moment. And Prisco with Dux. Stansfield there. Yeah, I mean, that sounds pretty good, Steve. You've had to think about that, and it looks quite good. I don't know. Sean Zima is saying he's very excited for Saturday's game. I hope you've calmed down a bit now, Sean. I think it was you that was getting excited about, is it going through? Is this going through? Is that going through? And I was saying, calm down, calm down, calm down. Everyone's calmed down. Everything's gone through. So let's just chill. I don't know what. Do you know what? Like, I'm still. It's all Pete's gonna have a little moan at me for saying this, but the jury's out on Dux for me. I don't know if he's got it in this league. I don't think he's strong enough. And when you've got these players coming in now, and you've got a centre forward like Priska, and you've got Stansfield, because Stansfield now should really be playing the number 9 role. He doesn't need to play that wide role anymore. So the competition for the striker's position is Stansfield, Kyogo, Dux and Priska. Which one of those is going to get it? You can't play 2 strikers with this collection of players, I don't think, because you're going to have to drop another really quality midfielder to play an extra striker. We don't play with 2 strikers anyway, so which one of them is going to play. I mean, okay, you could put Stansfield in the false 10 if you want behind Priska, but then behind Priska you could have Doyle, you could have Osman. I don't know where to go now. I don't know what to say. But Sean is saying he's excited for Saturday. I think everyone is. It's a shame that a few more people won't be able to go, but that's life when you've got the kind of ticketing system that we've got, where basically it's a closed shop. But and like Oxford play with the back 5. So they're going to go low block. I think any team that goes low block against us, and I think it's going to happen quite a bit, that's what's going to challenge us then, and we'll see just how good we are. Ben Davies played in the last Oxford team, so we could have Ben Davies against us. Someone was saying the other day, let's sign Ben Davies. Come on, please, come on. Forget Alfie May. Forget Ben Davies, all right. Alfie May got sent off for pulling someone's hair last night. That's weird, isn't it? He's not the sort to get sent off either, is he, really? I mean, our team, I think, is going to look very, very different to the one that was out last week. I don't know if we're going to get this centre-half through the door by in time for Saturday. I've got a funny feeling this is going to happen today, but I honestly don't know that for sure. I've been told that it's really, really close. So what can I say? I don't even know who it is, and that's the truth. So will Osman start? Will Pake start? Will Pake start with Solis? I think Pake and Solis is more of a likelihood than Doyle and Solis, because I don't think Chris is going to drop Pake easily. It's going to take some doing, and I do think Pake could do with a bit of a rest, but he's an exceptional player, I'm happy with the 2 fullbacks at the moment. I will be glad when we get that attacking. The thing is, though, imagine when Laird's back, and say you got Laird and Vicente down the right. Jesus. I don't know what else to say, really. I mean, we're a little bit quiet on the old commenting today, which is surprising. If you've got anything else to say, come and say it, because also I need to know, because I need to know you're there, because when it goes quiet like that, I think we haven't lost our what's it, have we? I don't think we have. Andy Wood, uh, still think we could see Kyogo. Um, um, Kyogo and Williamson uh, departed. Andy Wood is saying he thinks it could happen. I think if someone approached us with that in mind, I don't think it would be, like refused out of order. I think it's definitely something that could happen, particularly Williamson at this point. I wonder what delay with Pat Roberts. Hope he does sign. That's Paul James. I think everyone's in shock, Steve. I think they are, Steve. To be honest, that's what I'm looking at and thinking. Everyone's got a little bit shocked with this, so we don't know what to say. I mean, we went our 100. I think it was on Monday. Our 100 comments had gone after 44 minutes, but it went straight off, didn't it? Because I think on Friday we got to like 116 and they hadn't caught us. This week it got to 100 and it was like woof, finished. So if it goes off today, you know what it is. We're not halfway there yet. Um, I think the thing we're talking about, the Pat Roberts signing, it puts Blues in a different position now, because if Sunderland are playing a little bit of hardball for money and they've got this 1 year extension that they're holding a gun to our head with, to be honest with you, if Pat Roberts doesn't come off, it's not the end of the world now. It really isn't. I'd love to keep Patrick Roberts, but I think now we have a little bit more of a bargaining chip with Pat, and I still think it will happen, but it might be a little game of Russian roulette with this one. Let's wait and see. Um, and Pat saying he can't comment until the team is picked. That's really true. Harry Parker saying it's not Harry Maguire. I'm in London and just saw him across the street. What are you doing in London, Harry? Jesus, you get around a bit, you do, son. You're a little bit of a what's it in you? Are you a lounge lizard, Harry? Lee saying can't comment on the news till on the new lads till you've seen them play. We've seen a few play on Saturday and on Tuesday, on Saturday, and what I see was it Saturday? No, it was a Tuesday. I seen Osman started extremely well. Started a little bit slippy and slidey. I don't think he got the right length studs on. He was going down a lot, but I think he's very, very good. The more the game went on, the better it was for Osman. I think Solis looked, Jesus man, he's a minder, isn't he? And Priska, he was mixing it up with the big boys. You weren't scared. I mean, he was treading where ducks weren't going to go. And he's, I think we've got Andy Wood. He's coming back saying maybe we could go back in for Barry from the Villa. Oh yeah, was it you, Andy, that mentioned that earlier? I was going to come back and mention it. This thing's always at the back of my mind with Louis Barry, because I've got a connection with Louis Barry. And I think as well, I know that Craig Gardner's a real big fan of Louis Barry, and he's had a meniscus injury, which made him return from his last loan spell, which was at Sheffield United. There's a lot going on at Sheffield when he's there, and I don't think he got on too well with Chris Wilder. Um, so I think, and his meniscus. So I think he's gone through that. Well, he's had the operation now, and I think it's looking good. He should hopefully be ready for next season. He's not going to come. He won't be able to come and play straight away if he did come, but it wouldn't be 100% surprise me if it happened in the close season, or if it happened now with some kind of deal going forward. Uh, he is a very, very good player. I mean, the same England team as Jude Bellingham as a kid, and a few others. So but I know a lot of people don't like him because two reasons. Number one, he's a Villa fan and he played for Villa. Of course, he started at West Brom, then went to Barcelona as a kid. Um, Second thing, a lot of people don't know his dad. I know his dad quite well, and he's a bit of a loud lad, Mark, but he's all right. There's no harm in him. He's just a Villa fan. That's all there is. I mean, what can you say? Um, Sean Baldock saying, hello, stay doing, Sean, you all right, mate? Thank you. A few of you from me back earlier, and people were having a little bit of a slating of me. Bex is on. How you doing, Bex? She's saying Louis Barry is injured. He is, yeah. We know that. I was just talking about it, Bex. You know, he's got that meniscus injury. You actually seen all the details of it, didn't you? I think Beck's seen the X-rays and everything. She's got connections. I'll be saying too early for me, Steve, to be honest. I don't know what's too early for you, Lee. This time of day. To say, yeah, I got it, mate. Harry Palmer saying we're lacking. He's looking after the grandkids. Oh, I've got grandkids in London, Harry. Jesus. I bet he's a good granddad, Harry. Though he'd be a laugh, wouldn't he? Lee Harvey saying Lou Barry is he's not. He's a very very good footballer. The fact that he's a Villa fan doesn't go in his favour, but you know. So Jack Grealish is another really good footballer. I've got a phone call coming out. I can't answer that. I'm sorry. Someone ringing me. Sorry about that. I'm trying to decline it here. He won't let me. They're not going to give up. They want me. So fair point. That makes sense about Roberts. Yeah, I think it does, Paul. You know, I think what we have to look at here with the likes of Roberts is that we now have a stronger hand in terms of what we can do. We don't have to have a gun held to our head when we've got the Arsenal footballers that we've got at the moment. I'm using the word Arsenal, not like we like Arsenal, but you know. So that threw me off a little bit there, getting that phone call while how dare they phone me while I'm working. So the Oxford team at the weekend, they are not they're not fully at it at the moment, are they? They've had a bit of a tough season. They got rid of Gary Rowett. They've got, like I said, they play a 3-4-2-1. So wing backs, low block, one striker. It's sort of a system that would suit us, but it doesn't suit. We've got too many good players to play that. But the thing is, we have got too many good players, haven't we? Just looking at that particular array of players that I mentioned earlier is a little bit scary. But scary it might be, and a headache it will be for Chris Davies. But what a wonderful headache to have. You know, I mean, if you're worrying about, which we have done before, getting enough people, you know, on the pitch and having the kids on the bench, those days are gone. Which is bad news for the kids, really, you know. But you can't have it both ways. You've only got a certain amount of people you can have in the squad, and if you exclude your youngsters, then it's the way it's going to be. Because at the moment, it's all hands to the pump in terms of getting this team into the Premier League. And I'm just so excited with this window because it just shows us two things here. Number one, that Wagner is fully on side. There never was any doubt for me, but absolutely, you know, fully on side. And number two, he has faith in the manager. You don't put that much money into a squad if you don't have faith in the person that's picking it. So that is nice, you know. It's a togetherness as well that we have within the squad now, and hopefully these new characters. Imagine, you know, sitting in that dressing room now, and knowing that you got the players like, you know, Solis and Vicente coming in there, you know, players featuring La Liga week in, week out, and don't think for 1 minute that La Liga isn't like an absolute. It's probably the best league in the world, to be honest. I think it's a better product. In selling terms, I mean, the Premier League's a better product in terms of what it sells. But in terms of football, La Liga is the best footballing league in the world, and there's no doubt about that in my mind. to be honest with you, I'm always disappointed in the Premier League. I don't think you know, I'd rather have the Championship, and that's the gospel truth. Um, yeah, he's going back to Barry. He's got a meniscus at the moment. Graham Busby saying just hoping for centre backs incoming. He's big and strong and knows the Championship. I'd like us to have, to be honest, Gray. I think we've already got what we. I sort of think that's what we don't need because we've got that in Clara. He's a very big, strong centre half, and we've seen him perform in the Championship. I think what Clara lacks is the outball in terms of a centre half. We need someone that can play football alongside him. He thrives along that. He did it last season with Ben Davies, who's a little bit more football-y. He's done it with Robinson, who's a little bit more football-y. So if we had, like, you know, your footballing centre half, who's a big lad who can still help him in the air and that, but he knows how to play and he's left-footed, get Clara back on the right. That's where he belongs. On the left, he's wasted. His left-sided tackle isn't as strong. We lose the long cross-field right-footed ball from him. He just doesn't look happy with Neumann to me, to be honest. I don't think he trusts him 100%, and that's the truth. Um, Steve Daniels said, I'm wondering whether Sunderland want a huge fee. They won't, mate. Maybe Blues just decided to go with Vicente instead, and we'll look at Robert's deal at the end of the season. They wouldn't want a huge fee, mate, and that's the truth. And the reason for that is the fact that he's got a year contract if Sunderland take up the option. If they take up the option, then they pay him that money for another year. He's not in the squad. He's not anywhere near it. They don't want him. This isn't a Vicente who is playing like, you know, La Liga football week in, week out, scoring one goal in every 4 games that he plays. This is a player that can't get near a Sunderland Premier League team. So I think 1 to 2 million top end for Roberts, and that being with Sunderland, you know, taking away or saying they'll take away the 1 year option and let us have him for $1 million and sign him now. He's off their books then. It's all done and dusted. I think it's more likely to be that. Lee BCFC Stanley's here. How you doing there? I hope you're okay, mate. Nice to see you on here, Lee. Harry Parker's might be CD ringing you about the new set. Could have been. No, I've got him on. I've got him on. He's in my friends list, so he will come up with a photo of him like this. Steve McGuire saying good afternoon to me. Good afternoon, Steve. It's lovely to see you, mate. Steve Daniels, the last 2 home games have been 0-0 against Bristol City and QPR. It's absolutely terrible how many home points we've just dropped recently. Despite where they are, I don't think this will be an easy win. It won't, but I think now with that new impetus, I think we have to be winning these games. Off the subject of it, Steve, our corners are fantastic this season. Have you noticed? Our corners are really good. Doyle's corners at the moment are absolutely out of this world, aren't they? It was the best thing he did the other day, actually. He didn't have his best game, but those corners, he's going to score direct from one soon. He is absolutely brilliant. Harry's saying, you're right, Steve, and Oxford also have 4 to 5 new players and newish boys. Yeah, we should be doing this. Steve Daniels, if we draw against Oxford, the Davis off-ball, outdoor ball brigade will be out in full force. It's a shame how many people give Chris Davis so much stick. Just broken every single record the club's ever had, and they give him stick, you know. It's because he's a quiet bloke. He doesn't get, you know, he's not a Barry Fry character. He's quiet. He thinks about his football. He's a football student. You know, I love this bloke, you know. He's nice. His family are nice. They're just proper people, and I think, you know, we have to give him a little bit of, you know, respect for what he's done, and don't be slating him all the time. Someone was saying to me the other day, "What do you think the players? Do you think the players come in here and like read the comments and somebody goes, oh, so and so shit because like, you know, what he needs to do is cross the ball a bit more, and then they go and think, oh, you know, so and so from Marlborough, so they're going to cross the ball a bit more, so I will." It isn't that at all. This is what people don't get. What you don't understand is these players that you slag and call shit and call all sorts of horrible names, most of them in the Blues actual own Facebook page, which I had a response from Blues about yesterday. I'll be putting that into the, I won't put in the exact response, I'll be giving you the gist of what they said, which I'm not very happy with. Um, uh, what happens is their children go to school here, their wives go shopping here. You know, imagine going to school and you're a little bit proud. My dad plays for Birmingham City. Oh, you know, he's shit, isn't he? Everyone says, you know, all that sort of stuff. You think that's nice for families to live alongside? You all want your head looking, mate. Seriously, not you guys, you're us. You know what I mean, don't you? Paul Jones saying, let's go and teach Daniels. They are so predictable. Yeah, they are predictable, mate. You know, when we see them all the time, we have to remove them all the time. It's a massive. You know, if we have if we draw or lose on a Saturday, I have to literally go into our group and moderate and say, listen, you know, everybody be on it tonight. You know the score. It's horrible. Um, Pete Allen's back. Massive week on the training ground when we have a clear week after Oxford before the games come thick and fast. Yeah, we've got a few days now before Oxford, so we can get some stuff put in there. There's not an awful lot you have to teach the Spanish lads about possession football, but a few of the others, just, you know, how we want to break, who's playing in what, who is in what role in that team. It's like with Solis, I think, who's he protecting? I think he's got a good chance of being Solis and Paik. I do, in front of the back four, and then the rest. Steve Daniels saying, of course, we all want playoffs, but if it doesn't happen this year, how scary will we be when this team has a full pre-season together and has some more new players, hits the ground running from the start next season. You know what, though, Steve Daniels, I honestly get the impression now that Tom Wagner, and I don't know this, it's just that Tom Wagner expects us to get into those playoffs. And I don't want that to sound like I'm putting pressure on the manager, but when you have a statement like this made, you've got this quality of squad, then you're going to have a good go, aren't you? You know, you are going to have a good go. And Chris knows that, listen, you know, he knows that if he doesn't get this right, his job's under threat. You know, he knows that, he's aware of it. And I think every manager understands that. So he understands the pressure as much as anyone else does, and more, of course. And the thing is, it's not like he lives in a dark room with all the windows shut. He sees exactly what we see. So he knows, you know, when all that pressure from outside builds up, you know, pressure from the fans puts pressure on the owners. We don't want that thing to happen. We don't want to be a Watford or a West Ham where they're changing managers every 5 minutes. This really isn't good. The RV, they just need to get up to piece of the championship is fine. Yeah, all I'm saying, Lee, is that, you know, I don't know. I don't want to say, like, you know, Wagner wouldn't be happy if we didn't make the playoffs. I'm pretty sure, you know, if we make a good fist of it now. But I think when you've got, like, probably, I don't know, just thinking off the top of my head, like 25, 30 million pounds worth of football they've just signed for your club. Now, then obviously some of them are on loan, so that's probably going to happen in the close season, depending on where we finish. But then you would expect something different to happen. And I think that's fair enough to expect that. Pat's saying Tom wants the playoffs this year, 100%. He's a results man. He's like you, Pat. He's a results man, mate. When he gets that Sangria in front of him, if he ain't pissed by the end of by an hour's time, sometimes less with Pat, he wants his money back. Don't you, Pat? You got his shirt on at the moment, son. He's sitting in England at the moment. He'll be over here before we know it. I miss Pat. He comes over with Flo. I love having him over here, I really do. I do miss him a lot, my family, really. Yeah, let's have a look how we're going on the comments. Well, we got 23 comments left, so you can talk a bit shite if you want. Um, Pat's give me a lol. So there's one wasted comment. But yeah. So I mean, what does anyone? Has anyone got? I know we've had one little guess at the team. Can anyone think what that? Forget the back four. What's it going to be in front of that? Can anyone give us a little example? Steve saying Steve Daniels, of course, he wants the playoffs. Winning the playoffs is a flip of a coin now. Premier League is a matter of time now. Yeah, I think if we got in the playoffs and we didn't win them, I think Chris Davis' job is dead safe, I really do. Uh, I think it's safe anyway, but I just don't know. If he lost every game from now to the end of the season, of course it wouldn't be, but you know what I mean. Um, John Farmer saying the backing CD has received will put extra pressure on him and the players. Still don't think we are ready for promotion push, but I don't know. Looking at those players, I think we're pretty much as good as anyone if they all come to fruition. But every manager in this division is under pressure. Leicester are now looking for a new manager. They're going to get a new manager bounce from their players because it simply isn't good enough otherwise. And it shouldn't really be like that, but unfortunately it's the world we live in. But Johnny has had brilliant backing, and what I was saying, if you're an owner and it comes to November and you look at things and you think, I'm not happy with this, then that's the time to get rid of the manager, not January when you're just about to spend, like I just said, a fortune in wages. You're not going to say, well, who should I give who will I put in charge of this like multi-millionaire £1 million team? I know. Let's give it to the manager that I don't trust. That ain't going to happen. He's no idiot, Tom Wagner. One thing he isn't, he's stupid. He's a good businessman. Blues are cooking, Steve. They are, mate. Lee Harvey saying, but the same team as last week. New lads to second half. I don't think it'll be the same team as last week, Lee, because we didn't win. We didn't look at the races at all. I think Solis will come in. I hope he does. I think Priska may come in, and I think we're going to see. I do think we're going to see Vicente. I think. What do I know? What do I know? Lee Stanley's is saying we just need to ramp up the atmosphere low. Yeah, I think that's going to happen as soon as we start winning again. And we need to get it right. The home results recently have been poor. They have. There's no doubt about it. Pat's saying it's so tight this league, anybody can win it. They can, mate. Yeah, and we've seen that because listen, look who's at the top, Middlesbrough and Coventry. You would have said that in the close season. I wouldn't have. Middlesbrough, a good team. I still think Coventry have got time for the wheels to fall off this though. They don't look great. In fact, Frank ain't happy, is he? He's not. It's so tight, this league, yeah. Lee started saying Defo start, Prisco up front, yeah. Prisco is that. It could be that thing, that, and I don't want to liken him to the ponytailed striker at Man City, but it could be that young lad that just hits English football with his feet, hits it running and starts netting a lot. He scored 19 in 25. And the Swedish First Division, while it's not the Premier League and it's not La Liga, it isn't a bad league. And to score 19 in 25 gives you a little idea of what this lad's like. Uh, Dennis Delaney is telling me that for him it's Solis and Doyle, then Roberts, Stano, Osman and Priska. Okay, you wouldn't have Vicente in there, Dennis. I don't know about, and the reason I say I don't know about Solis and Doyle. That's the two I picked last week. I think it's going to be hard for anyone to dislodge Pate, to be honest. Steve Daniels is saying he thinks the atmosphere is quite normal in home grounds mid-season. It is. And he's saying this to you, Lee, especially when you're mid-table, but when it gets to the business end of the season, we've got something to play for. It picks up. Do you know what as well? Like night games are better, aren't they? Absolutely, they're much better. Lee saying it's sad to see and hear people getting shit of their own fans. It really is, and you know, like the club know about this, are aware of it. And this is another reason that we know that I read the pages, because one of our moderators, Alan, had a nasty little incident happen to him on Saturday at St Andrews, where he was pushed over in the beer queue. Usually in a beer queue, either number one, he's not in the beer queue because someone else is in there instead of him because he don't like buying a drink. Number two, if he is in the beer queue, he's pissed and he falls over because he's pissed. But at this point, someone actually pushed him over, so it's not nice. And Alan put this into the group, and the club contacted Alan and said, listen, we've seen on your social media that this happened. They're looking into it, you know, they want to see who did it, because they can't believe, number one, he was getting them a drink. And, you know, so they know that's not involved. And number two, they want to ensure that he wasn't pissed. I will find out, I think. Sorry, Al. Lee Harvey saying, it's sad to see, yeah, we've just done that one. Steve Daniels, players have a responsibility to excite us at home. They do, to pick up the crowd. It's the same everywhere. Thing is though, Steve, that's fair enough, you know, but the more the players get stick from the fans, the more nervous it makes them, the more pressure it puts them under, because they're thinking, you know, you can almost imagine running through on a one-on-one. I think this is what used to happen to us, Scott, you know, what's his name? Scott Hogan, you know, he goes through on a one-on-one and going through his head would be, fucking hell, if I miss this, you know, look what stick the missus is going to get in the kids, you know, it ain't nice. Dennis is saying, I would have Vicente, but he will be on the bench. Yeah, it's a marvellous chance that a few of these on the bench on Saturday. I agree, Dennis. Pat Haslam saying, maybe we could have a good FA Cup run. We can beat Leeds, can't we, surely? Steve Daniels, yeah, a good cup run would be great if we score against Leeds. Watch the atmosphere, got to be absolutely brilliant, mate. I mean, none of us like Leeds, do we? Paul James is saying that's good news about the club doing that. Shows they take notice of the form. They do read it, and I know people don't believe us, but honestly they do. We interact with them. I wrote to them about it on, not about this specific incident, but about like the Facebook group, and telling them that it needs better policing, and they said they follow the code, the club's code of conduct and stuff, and you know it's hard to manage when we know that there's 500,000 people in here, and then they come back, you know, basically, you know, you can see it's not something they're going to do a lot about, I don't think. But I'll tell you a little bit more about it in detail in the next few days. But at the end, they said, you know, and Steve, like, thank you for the continued, you know, hard work and good work that you do at the project, and that, you know, they know we support the club, of course we do. Paul James, that's good news about the club. Yeah, Pat, he's saying if we beat Leeds, we could go on a massive run in the league. We could, Pat. If we beat Oxford, we could. Harry Parker, Vicente on the way, on the wing, Roberts in the 10, frightening assists left and right with Wagner. I don't think Roberts will play in that 10. I think it's more likely if Priska plays up front that Stansfield will probably play in that 10. He's not really a natural 10. He does invert. I'd say Roberts is more of an 8 than a 10. But, you know, Harry, you may be right. Lee Harvey saying dirty Leeds will come in force, going to be good. Well, they got 4,500. Well, I think they got 5,000 tickets, because they only get 4,500. I think what they have to be given, and I think we give them the extra 500 like we did with Newcastle, because you're not going to put 500 Blues fans on the road in the Gilmerick with 4,500 Leeds. So the way the club look at it is we might as well take another 500, you know, 500, give it to 500 more Leeds fans and take the dough off them, and that's fair enough. You ain't going to make that much difference to me, I don't think. Steve Maguire saying, if no more come in, I just hope we can secure Robertson Doyle. Yeah, Robertson Doyle, you know, I'm looking at this going, oh, Robertson Doyle, you know, well, but listen, a week ago they were our top players, and they still are. They're still good footballers, you know, and it'd be nice to have them both as well. Let's just get everyone on board. if the comments go off shortly, by the way, I will be summing up. We should have 4 more comments. It'll probably be more than that if we get them through fast. But it's been really, really nice. 59 minutes. It always works out to about an hour, 100 minutes, like 100 comments. It's like 1 comment every 30 seconds. Fucking hell, that's good, isn't it? So look out for centre half. Harry Parker saying, "Be Jesus." Steve said, "I might be right." Pack it up, Harry. I don't fucking just have a go at you just because it's you, although you are a pain in the arse sometimes. But listen, mate, you make your own, I like you, you have your own mindset and you make your own comments. And just like me, you have every right to make your comments, mate. I do poo-poo them sometimes, but that's what I'm liking it. It's my job. I have to. Lee Harvey, I'm liking that. Wagner. Yeah, he's had a little bit of a checkered start. I think he got caught out a couple of times, but he's got to get used to the division league. So I think he's definitely going to improve. He's not going to get any worse. He's got a wonderful left foot on him. I think his tackling probably might take a little bit of improving still, but I think he's good. Frame it, Harry. Thanks, Andy. I appreciate it. Yeah, Lee, he's a very, very good left-sided fullback. I mean, imagine when we have him and we have Laird back. Of course, then we got players like Samuel still here, and he only signed in the summer as one of the big signings, and now that's like dwarfed, isn't it, by these signings? Kenya, I think these next few days are going to see us saying goodbye to some people as well. I think we could be over the limit now, but we'll see. So I think, a few people have mentioned Williamson. I think if the right deal comes, Williamson's gone. Kenya, right deal comes, he's gone. Kyogo, I think the right deal comes, he's gone. What we'll be looking at now is trying to bring back, drag back a little bit of wage money if we can. So it will be interesting to see which way this goes over the next few days. Pat saying Tyson Fury to come out of retirement. Well, mate, he's sniffing the money, mate, isn't he? He's got that money thing in his mind. A lot of boxers do it. They come out of retirement. They come out not because they want the money. Steve Daniels saying must be some hamstring injury in Laird. He is, yeah. How long has he been out now? He's been out for months. He'll be back. I think probably another 4 weeks. Steve Rowett, Will Buchanan and Laird get back in the team. Well, I would think they were both. Well, I think Laird will walk into the team at the moment. Although it's in Waters' place to lose. He's played extremely well at right back. Buchanan is an excellent fullback. Slightly different to Wagner, but he's very, very good. So I honestly don't know about that one. I don't know. We've sneaked over the 100, so expect it to go off any time now. We're on 104. I don't turn the comments off, by the way. They just Facebook turns them off. So next few days, I don't know. I think all we got to come now, I think, is a centre half. Although I've got a sneaky feeling, just in my water, it's like Harry, that we could get someone else as well. I'm just guessing that, right? I do. If you're asking me what I know or what I think I know, I think a centre half is going to come today or tomorrow. Other than that, I have no other information on what I think might happen. It would be lovely. Do we need anyone else? I mean, we don't want to be buying too many. We're going to end up with like fucking. I wonder if they'll let us have 2 teams in the Championship. But I think we can probably happily wind it up there, even though I don't know if they turn me off. They probably have, and if they have, okay. But I think it's been a really nice 1 hour and 4 minutes. I will be putting this into the group later via YouTube, so if you want to watch that, well, you won't want to watch it again, but if you know anybody that does want to watch it, then do so, please. I want to say a massive thank you for all coming on to these lives with me and the numbers that you do and talking to me about the matches, because I really like this interaction with my group or with our group, because doing everything in the group in text isn't like you know, us talking to each other, is it? We don't have that connection, and I like that connection. It brings the fans and us closer together. Lee Harvey, we're still getting comments. Lee Harvey saying always a brilliant live, Steve. Thank you so much, Lee. I really appreciate it, mate. I really do. Pat saying goodbye. See you later, Pat. Give my love to Flo, mate. Steve saying, I don't think we need any more mids or attackers. I don't. And I still don't think we need that much in defence. We need a centre half. I don't know what else we need in defence, to be honest with you. Paz is saying, but Paz, see you later, mate. Love you, son. I'll see you soon. Steve Donnelly will be the same player. Yeah, he's had the same thing before, Steve Donnelly. He's had bad injuries before and he's come back. He's a lovely lad as well, you know, and he's such a good footballer. And he's saying, cheers, thank you, Lee Harvey. Very true. In the team, yeah, I don't know. Obviously, I don't pick the team, but and I'm glad I don't have to pick the team. I think the boss does a good deal. You know, he's had some stick. I think, honestly, I think he's had a hard time recently, the manager, and I think he's had some unnecessary shit in the dressing room. I think that's gone. And you know, it's nice to see Chris looking more relaxed and having a smile on his face, and being able to get us all back together again, get things on the right road, just like they were last season. Lee Harvey saying, definitely Steve and Chris do, we trust. We do, you know, we do, most of us do. And I always say about this group, you know, we don't have a load of big mouths in the group, but silent majority speaks for itself. Our numbers grow all the time. 2 million people a month, 24,300 now in the over that in the group. It's brilliant. Steve Roworth, last chance saloon for both. Yeah, I don't know about Laird. Well, I mean, both of them are fit, two of the best fullbacks in the Championship. Obviously, coming back from injuries like that, it's a big deal. Steve Dan's saying he's loving the BCF project group. You're all doing a fantastic job. The difference between yours and others ones is huge. Very lucky to have moderators who care and are all on the same page with these negative idiots. Steve, I have to make the point there that, you know, our moderators don't really get the... Obviously, you know, I tend to get a lot of recognition when you get good stuff. I get the real shit when I get the bad stuff, and I get loads and loads of people, you know, just messaging me out of the blue going, you're a wanker, or, you know, stick your group up your arse and all that. I get it all the time. So they don't get that. But the thing they don't get as well, which I get a lot of, is a recognition for the good stuff we do. And our moderators are absolutely top drawer. You know, there's 4 or 5 of our moderators that really are like the heart and soul of the project. And obviously all of the others as well, you know, all of them. I mean, some of them are quite new, so it takes time for them to get into the role. So sometimes we make mistakes, and it happens to everyone that are in new roles. But it's a learning curve, and it happens quickly. And most of the people that come as moderators are of the same mind as us. Otherwise, they wouldn't do it. So, you know, I really appreciate that comment, Steve. And when you do get people making nice comments about the group and telling us nice stuff about what we do, it makes a nice change from people telling us that we're like, you know, I'm like Hitler, and all the moderators like the SS, and Bex is like Goebbels or something. I don't know. Is he Goebbels? Who was his number 2? Himmler. She's not. She couldn't get anyone less Nazi than Bex. So guys, I think we will leave it there. It's what we got now. We got 117 on 117 comments. So I think sometimes it just goes longer, sometimes it doesn't. What they might do is, you know, the more time we get these times we get these high numbers, they might extend it. I have no idea. Who knows with Facebook? But thanks very much for your last 1 hour, 9 minutes and 50 odd seconds. It's been really good fun. Love these live sessions. And it's Tuesday, it's Wednesday. I'll probably do a pre-match on Friday because we'll wait till we get the new centre half in. If the new centre half happens today, or we might do it tomorrow, so let's just see what happens. Sean saying goodbye. Goodbye, Sean. We're still commenting. Listen, guys, thank you so much. And of course, as usual, up the Blues. Harry Saint Harry, enjoy your time in London with your grandkids, son. Give them our love, won't you? And everyone, thank you. And remember, always get the wrong arm. Keep right on. Up the Blues. See you guys. Thank you.